So the human race is gradually pulling off its collective onesies, donning more socially acceptable attire and returning to work or venturing out on trips again. Which means a lot of people are looking for a flexible computing solution that can keep them connected at home, in the office, wherever they choose to roam. And one of the best options for anyone who practically lives online is a Chromebook like this wee fella here, the HP Chromebook 11a. At a nuts chub over 1 kilo, it's impressively light, while the compact design means it'll slip into pretty much any bag going, even a good-sized handbag. Yet the performance, which comes courtesy of the MediaTek MT8183 chipset, can handle any Chrome OS app out there, while the battery life is proper good. And best of all, this Chromebook is super affordable as well. It'll cost you just 150 quid here in Byyyeeee from the likes of Curry's PC World. So here's a run through of some of the best features of the HP Chromebook 11a, and a big thanks to MediaTek for sponsoring this video. Now, while Chromebooks do tend to be on the dinky side, HP's effort is one of the teeniest that I've personally tested. That plastic frame seems to be durable, thankfully, so it easily survives plenty of life on the road. Just toss it in a backpack with your tinnies and your ham sarnies, and off you go. Running the show is MediaTek's very own MT8183 chipset, backed by 4 gigs of DDR4 RAM, and that can handle absolutely everything you chuck at it, no worries. The HP Chromebook 11a boots up in just a couple of seconds, not even enough time to take a gulp of your tea or whiskey or whatever it is you like to drink with breakfast. We don't judge here. You can run several apps at one time, for instance streaming music while you browse the web, work in Google Docs, and also keep tabs on your inbox. And if you do decide that work is a bit boring and pointless and you can't really be doing with it at all, then good news! A respectable selection of games can be downloaded from the Play Store, which run like a dream here on the Chromebook 11a. You can download plenty as well with the 32 gigs of built-in storage, and that can even be expanded in a jiffy using a bit of micro SD action. And another benefit of that energy-efficient MediaTek platform is the ridiculously good battery life you'll see out of this thing, helped along of course by the light Chrome OS software. Just a single charge of the Chromebook 11a's battery usually provides over 10 hours of full-on playtime. And yeah, that's full-on mixed use, including lots of music or podcast streaming in the background while you're working, and a good bit of Netflix streaming as well in your downtime. The Chromebook's 11.6-inch IPS screen sports a 1366 by 768 HD resolution. It's not full HD, but the compact size does mean that the visuals are still sharp enough for whatever you need. That panel gets bright enough so you can easily see what's going on when you're kicking around outdoors, with an anti-glare curtain putting the boot to pesky reflections. You've got a single Type-C USB port here on the right edge of the Chromebook 11a that can be used to power it up, but it also supports DisplayPort connections, so for instance you can hook up an external monitor, a projector, something like that if you need to. And HP has also somehow found space on this weenie wonder for an actual full-sized USB port. As for audio, the HP Chromebook 11a serves up a stereo speaker arrangement that can pump out some very loud sound indeed. Although yeah, the quality isn't exactly what you would call good. There are some serious distortions on those higher volumes, so if you want to actually enjoy your music, film, whatever you're trying to kick back and relax with, I would highly recommend plugging in a pair of headphones. Thankfully you do get a headphone jack here on the right edge, and you've also got some very dependable Bluetooth connectivity. The HP Chromebook 11a has a 720p HD camera housed over that display, plus dual mics built into the tiny frame for everyone's favourite COVID pastime, video chats. And these certainly do the job for your Zoomy, Skypey, Microsoft Teamy shenanigans, although as always I would suggest connecting a headset to get the most out of it. And I am also a fan of that compact keyboard, which makes the most of that really limited space. You don't have any backlighting sadly, which makes working at night tricky, but the chiclet keys are well separated and comfortable to type on for hours at a stretch. You have the usual row of Chromeware shortcuts up top as well, while HP has even managed to make the arrow keys a fairly decent size. And yeah, that touchpad is comically small, but it's actually surprisingly responsive, although I personally prefer just poking and swiping the touchscreen. And as you might expect, given its close ties to Google's Android UI, Chrome OS does work wonderfully with a touch display, so it is a natural fit. So that right there, in a nutshell, is the HP Chromebook 11a as powered by MediaTek. A great way to stay productive and entertained wherever you happen to wander, with impressive performance and battery life despite the compact size. So big thanks to MediaTek for sponsoring this close look at the HP Chromebook 11a, and please do poke subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech. Cheers everyone, love you!